Hey there, Kim from A Cup of Content here with another episode of Espresso Shots. And I am going to do a first run walkthrough of Obior, and I'm really hoping I'm saying that right because I haven't really figured out the right way to say that yet. I've had a couple of people tell me about Obior, and I thought maybe it would be a good time for me to actually sign up for a free account and then show you what my initial thoughts of it are on the free side as well as what their paid stuff is. So let's get started. So first of all, let me tell you a little bit about OBO from what I've seen. You can make your own website. It offers hosting that's built in. It's got social media feeds with it from the looks of it. They say that they do SEO, search engine optimization, and you can make it look as beautiful as you want it to. So they say that they've got great security support, good quality hosting. I don't know a lot about it other than that. We're going to take a look at it and we're going to see what it's all about and what my kind of final thoughts are on it. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click Start for Free. And I'm actually going to sign up with email. You can sign up with Facebook. Because of how I operate, I don't tend to want to associate everything with Facebook, so I sign up for it separately. And also, something else to think about in that regard too is that if you sign up with Facebook and you decide that you want to have someone help you work on your website, it is most likely all going to be tied into that Facebook page, and then you would most likely have to give up login credentials for your Facebook account to someone else. So keep that in mind when you're doing this. So I'm going to sign up with email. I'm going to fill out the information here, and I'm going to take a look at their terms of use. And you can see, let's see here. Let's see, confidential information. Custom plan. If you have more than 5,000 visits a month, the custom plan will be applicable. Parties will agree on the specifics of the custom plan. Free trial, the term of 10 days from the confirmation, after which the user will need to upgrade to a paid plan as mentioned on the website and in the email sent to the user. Okay, so that means we got to pay for it. So they do have the light, standard, and pro plans. And let's take a look at that maybe here real quick before we get any farther so you can see what that looks like as well. So let's check out their pricing. All of their plans have that free hosting, connect your domain, support, and no setup free where you can get started for free. However, it is a free 10-day trial. So at the end of the 10 days, whatever work you've put into it, you do have to choose a plan. And so they've got a couple of them. So we're looking at a starter plan, a pro plan, and an unlimited plan, which all of those monthly amounts are really great. I am just curious as to what their hosting is like because that's usually my big thing is how fast does the website perform once we get it set up, because that is something that can hurt you from an SEO standpoint. So let's kind of look down here if there's anything else. Month to month or yearly contracts. They have cloud hosting, so that's interesting. That could be good and bad. It's mobile friendly. You can use your own domain. You can pay with credit card, PayPal, and debit cards. And there you go. So that's kind of a little bit about their pricing. And as I say, no hidden charges, cancel at any time. Okay, so once I sign up for the account, it immediately brings me into naming my company. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm actually going to use one of the domains that I have that is not currently being used anywhere. So I'm going to put that here. Okay, the next step, they're asking me to, if I own a Facebook page, connect your page and your feed is automatically imported and shown on your website. So let's go ahead and do that. We have the typical approval of what they're going to share with Facebook, and I'm just going to go ahead and continue. They would like to manage my pages, and then I can choose what I allow. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn off all of my pages, and then I'm going to go find that actual page. So let's do that and click OK. Okay, and then the next step is, again, it's a little weird. I have to connect with what Facebook page, even though I just selected it. Okay, and there it is. There we go, select that page. And are we on Instagram? Yes, we actually are. Okay, so the basic login for Instagram. Okay, now they're syncing stuff, and I get to choose what colors I'm going to do. And it says, of course, you can change the whole look and feel of your website at a later time. Okay, so it looks like they've kind of built something for me. It looks like I can go over here and I can adjust what that looks like based on device. Let's get started. And they've got a video tutorial.
Okay, let's start our tour now. Okay, so over on the left, we've got build your website content here. So it's giving us sections, widgets, pop-up, social media bar, and action bar. Click on next. Now we've got the content, build your website here by adding sections for content. Okay, so it looks like this is where your menu is set up at, and you would just, adjust the stuff for that. Yep, and then as you can see, they've got intercom over here to kind of help you out. These are things that you can do: add a page, change the order, so you're able to, rearrange this. Since I'm in the tour, I can't do any of that right now, so I'm just going to skip over that. And then it shows us the widget section, where you could put up a newsletter, your latest tweet, things like that. And how to design it, tweak the look and feel of your website with just a few clicks, add your logo, things like that. And now they're ready to get started with setting up the website. So here they've given you a little to-do list to guide us through getting our website ready. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so first it says we're going to set up our widgets. So let's do that. And explains what widgets are. And again, you've got your video tutorial that pops up here. So they've given us kind of a little guide of what our website could look like. And let's choose a widget. Let's say we could do a newsletter sign up there. And this is where you can adjust how you want this to look. It looks like you can connect with MailChimp. I'm just going to go with their stuff for right now, but that's a good thing that you can connect with a MailChimp email service provider. Okay, and so I'm going to dismiss this. Okay, so I'm going to go down a little bit farther. We're going to choose another widget to put down here, and maybe we could do our social media links. Okay, and so that would be where we would edit the links, and you can looks like you can choose wherever you are. And I could have my Instagram set up. There's a lot to choose from here. I could do Twitter, I can do YouTube, Vimeo, all sorts of things here. So and then I could do Facebook. So I'm just going to stick with those for right now, but as you can see, there's all sorts of really great options here that you can use as a social media follow widget. Now at the bottom here, there's a save, so I'm just going to click save. And it looks like we've got the widget saved. Okay, and when I click on the Get Started link, you're going to see that it brings me back to our checklist. So now they want us to add an About page to our website, so let's go ahead and do that. And that means we would need to add a section or a page. And so I'm going to click on that, and it looks like they have a pre-made About section for us, so we could click on that. And then it looks like at this point we can change what the URL is going to be. We can do all sorts of things. We can select how we want the layout of the website to be and all that kind of stuff. So if we could select a photo, let's just see what happens. I'm going to just put a photo in here. Okay, and it looks like in the content section, here is the content section. And at the bottom here, it says homepage summary, only applicable for one page or themes. If you have a lot of content, you may just want to show a summary on the homepage. Okay, so I'm just going to put homepage summary here, just so I know what it is when I go to take a look at it. I'm going to save that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a view website in the upper right hand corner so I can kind of get a feel of what this is supposed to look like. Okay, and as you can see, I've got that about page there, so I'm going to click on it. And so it looks like this, I just made a one-page website here. Okay, and I don't see that content thing. If I click on the read more, so what it does is it pops up a section. So what I am in here is a one-page website right now. I typically don't recommend that, but as from what I understand, I could probably click on edit design here and I can customize the look and feel of my website. And they've got a little tour here, so let's take a look at that. We can choose what theme we want up here in the upper left hand corner. We can adjust the design, add our logo. We can upload some images for the background, and then we can publish our changes. Down at the bottom, this is a really nice feature that you can look at it in desktop, tablet, and mobile view. And any custom CSS or HTML styling that you want to do, this is only if you are someone who actually knows HTML or CSS. Otherwise, I probably would not mess with that. So at this point, I don't want a one-page site. So I'm going to go over to themes and I'm going to browse the themes. And as you can see, they've got quite a few themes, just 6 themes right here. This is probably because I am on the free version. I want to find one that is not a one-page theme. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with the marquee theme down here. And we can preview it, so it's kind of nice. Okay, so it does have separate pages. It's a very clean. Okay, so I'm gonna actually use that. Now it did open up in a new window, so I'm just gonna choose that theme for right now. And I'm going to publish that change. Okay, and now I've got that as my theme. So now I can go back to my dashboard and I could go over to the content section and look at the pages. And now I've got all of that. And remember, you can rearrange these. Now I can, that's nice, prompts me because I forgot to save. Now I'm going to go into the About page and I can make my adjustments there. So that would be the header, image, content, homepage summary. There's a settings up here. I could hide the page. This is where I would add my SEO. And I'm assuming this is the keyword phrase and SEO description. I'm going to assume would be our meta description, so it's good that we can do that. One thing to remember as well is that whatever your first image is most likely going to be the image that shows up when your website is shared on that particular page. So that's something else to think about. Let's go take a look at some of these other sections, like the pop-up section. It looks like you have to have the pro account to do that. Let's take a look at the social media bar, and it looks like we can show that, and then we can choose the icons and we just drag and drop them over here. So if I want my Instagram to show up first, I can just rearrange all of these according to how I want them. So I can drag in as many. It's nice, it's got a snapshot. That's always a good one to be able to see in there. And let's just throw them all in there. And then here is where I would put in all of my information. So I'm going to do that real quick. So we'll fast forward through this. And when I hit save, it did not save the ones that I did not enter in addresses for. So that's something to kind of remember too. And then over here, you can always drag and drop and switch those around. Let's take a look at the action bar. Where do you want your action bar to be at? Is it going to be at the top of the page? If I'm going to show it, it will let me adjust. And so this is going to appear at the top of my page, so I can put all of these things in there, include my share buttons and my Twitter. Okay. Button with like count, that's nice. Show Twitter count. I can put other types of buttons up here. That's really cool too. And let's just save this and see what it does. All right, so let's view that website again. Yep, and there's your action bar up at the top here. So this is where your information, those things that we just added, can scroll through. Here's where all that stuff is. Stay in the know. Our sign up, email sign up is down here. And at this point, we could edit the design if we wanted to. We can change what the photo tells us we have to do that in content home. We could put a logo in here. We could put a background image. We can change the color scheme to match any of our branding. We do have some choices of fonts as well, and that's a nice touch. Those are all by Adobe Typekit, so there's probably quite a few of them in there. They've got a pretty broad range of stuff. So let's see here. I always like my body copy to be 16. My subtitles are going to be about 20. Maybe my titles are going to be about 30. Okay. And so I can look at the settings, publish changes. Okay. So that's what it's going to look like. And let's go back to our dashboard. And we can go into the design editor. We can do the browser icon, which is this little guy up here. That appears to be something that is with the Pro feature. So let's take a look. Domain settings, if I wanted to, I could actually connect my domain to this. I can connect to Facebook as well. And there's just all sorts of things. There's where you would connect to MailChimp and any of your other accounts that you want in here. Okay, so code injection. This is where you would put your Google Analytics code. This is where you'd put any other codes like your Facebook Pixel and things like that. And it does appear that you have to have a pro account in order to use that. And it looks like you can see who your subscribers are. And I believe this is if you use their subscription platform, you would see it in your MailChimp account once you would set that up to it. And so honestly, I mean, this looks really nice. You've got your main dashboard here. No one's visited my site yet, so that's where, I would see a little bit of analytics. And, there's all sorts of things. They've got your tutorial videos and all that kind of stuff here. So you're able to really, get into the tutorials and things like that. Overall, my vision of the site is, I think it's pretty cool, especially for people who don't know much about website design, don't have a budget to hire someone to do it for them. This would be a pretty good selection, and the fact that you can do on-page SEO for each of the particular pages, that's a really good feature as well. So overall, I think, like I said, I think this would be a really good website for people. The price point is fairly decent, at $6.74 a month. That's really not terrible with, you've got a couple of themes that you can choose from, connecting your own domain, having it be mobile optimized or responsive. That's a really important thing too. So really the choices that you have here, I think, are, fairly decent. If you're looking to get into more, kind of more specialized things, like if you're wanting to develop a membership, if you're wanting to sell things, I think that's something that would be probably a little bit more difficult with something like this. The only thing that really concerns me with Obior is the fact that I have not yet found where you can have a blog on the site. And for me, especially with even, at the price point that it's at, that's kind of a deal breaker for me. If there's no opportunity for me to put a blog on the site, then it's not something that I think is worth investing in. Even as I look at their pricing, I did not see that included in any of this here. So that would be something that I'd be very leery about. If you want to grow your presence online, you need to have a blog and you need to be updating that website on a regular basis. And a blog is a great way to do that. So that would be my huge downfall on this website. For me personally, it'd be a deal breaker. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you have any questions.